All right, episode four, already episode four. Time is flying by. This week, we are talking about supplements, what kind of supplements to take, what are the most beneficial. So let's just get right into it. In my opinion, I think the most important thing, obviously, is food, but there is some supplements that are definitely important to add into our diets. Number one, in my opinion, the most important for building muscle is creatine.
That's my number one too. That's my number one too. Yes,
Right.
sir.
I mean, why creatine is the most important. Our bodies already have creatine. We store creatine in our muscles. We get creatine from proteins like fish, chicken, and other sources of proteins. We can't get enough creatine from those sources. Our body doesn't create enough creatine if we want to build decent amount of muscle. So definitely supplementing it is really important because in our bodies create, like I said, it has creatine. What does creatine do? It creates ATP, which is our body's number one source of energy to break down the muscle. The more muscle fibers we break down through ATP, the more we're going to grow. Now, when it comes to creatine, how much I suggest that we should have is about 5 grams, 2 to 4 times a day, in my opinion. You guys could tell me to fuck off or whatever you think. But in my opinion, I think 5 grams, at least 3 to 4 times a day, is where we get to the point where it becomes beneficial and we're able to grow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think so. Not sure what Caleb's number one is, but creatine was my number one too. Something that I've been supplementing on and off since the start of my fitness journey, and something that I recommend to almost all clients, no matter if they're on a bulk, no matter if they're on a cut. Something to pair hand in hand with that too is to make sure that you're getting enough water in when you're on creatine so you don't dehydrate. Very important that you're drinking at least a gallon a day. I know it sounds hard, but keep that water next to you. A lot of us are working from home at this point. Just make it a habit to drink a lot of water when you're on creatine. It's only going to help, only going to benefit from it. Improves your workouts in the gym. So I always try to insert it into my pre-workout or intra workout, same with my clients. And then I also don't do it 4 times a day. I do 5 grams pre or intra workout and then another 5 grams post workout. So I keep it at around 10 grams. But for a very advanced athlete, I may increase it to about 15 grams. And I would still try to do that just pre and post workout. But as far as you touching on the ATP, I think that that's big. And I think that's a reason why actually not only people that take it like working out, like take creatine working out, it's recommended for all athletes, playing any sport at any level. I always see that in plans for athletes. So I just wanted to say that it's like a worldwide supplement that a lot of people use to enhance their exercise performance.
Sports performance, yep, as well. Yeah, you're right.
It's one of the only supplements that's allowed in almost every sport. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was my number one too. Obviously, I think we are all gonna come up with that same shit. I mean, it kind of surfaced in I think it was like the early '80s when Russia started using it and loading it up, and they were crushing everybody. They were probably on some other shit too, but we're not gonna talk about that. But they started putting a lot of literature behind it and studying a lot more after Russia kind of wiped everyone clean. So yeah, I kind of missed the part where you talked about ATP. Rob, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So creatine, our muscles have creatine in it, and
Yeah.
when what it uses the creatine for is to turn into ATP, our body's number. We talked about this in the past. Number one source of energy. So our bodies, we get it from food sources, protein sources, but we need more. We definitely need more to be able to build more. So giving your muscles even more creatine creates more ATP, creates more breakdown of the muscle fibers, which ends up obviously better. We have more muscle fibers broken down, and then it also helps with the healing process. So the building process for sure.
Yeah, that's all I was going to add to it is basically your muscles use ATP for energy. So basically after your muscles use it for a contraction, it loses a phosphate group and it goes from ATP triphosphate to diphosphate. And then it's useless. Creatine just donates that phosphate group back to ATP and then just cycles. And the more you have in your system, the quicker that process is going to happen. So usually your muscular endurance is a little bit better. That's where strength starts to equate to. So yeah, you guys covered all of it, man. But
Yeah,
I agree.
you're right. ADP is what we're storing, where is stored as. Creatine turns it from ADP to ATP, which
Yeah.
is the energy. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
it donates a phosphate group, and once it's ATP, your muscles can use it as for that burst of energy to like get a contraction out. Yeah.
Yes. I remember seeing a video, like an actual burst too. I remember seeing
Yeah.
that video.
I think it's funny because we talked about how we wanted to go over like our top five, like what was our top five supplements. I had a couple, like I consider creatine, even though that was my number one, I consider that as an essential, so
Yeah.
it's like, I don't even want to put that in my top five because that's like, it's an easy number one. So there was two other ones that I have as my essentials, like something that I believe you should be taking at all times, right? So you guys tell me if you guys agree or disagree. So obviously my three essentials were creatine.
Mhm.
My second is lipids, making sure to keep that in there to stimulate, the production of your liver enzymes, help function properly, help with digestion. It's like a good natural removal of toxins and cholesterol. And then three, for me, daily greens. I think that those three things, I'll always keep them in a program, depending on if you're shredding, depending on if you're bulking. Either way, I think that there's other things that you can always add in, like, and I'll let you guys touch base on that. But my three
Yeah.
essentials are going to be those three: creatine, lipids, which mostly come in a pill form, and then daily greens. I think most people do a powder. Those are my essential three. You guys can have your essential three or five, whatever. But
No, that's great. I think that's
That's
great. I
good.
think they're
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
I think they're
Yeah.
great. You could touch on it first because there's one of them I don't really think is as important as others. But go ahead. You can
Okay,
touch
and
it.
I'm guessing you're going with the daily greens.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
And that's fine, just because I know that there are some. I've read that a little bit of the cons, like the toxicity of the daily greens,
Mhm.
and I've
Toxicity.
read
There's
that.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but for me, I'm not big on caffeine. I know a lot of people are huge on caffeine, right?
Okay,
Most
so
big.
yeah, I understand that then. Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
me, I'm talking about my essentials, right? So
Mhm.
a big thing for me is finding a natural source of energy. I always drink my daily greens in the morning with Robbie. You know about the apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
I like mixing the two. It gives me a good kick, gets rid of those like sluggish mornings. If I need it in the afternoon, maybe do a half serving to get rid of that, like,
Yeah.
lagging afternoon feeling. But I just love it because it's a really natural source of a lot of vitamins that you need. And it can even help lower some of your blood pressure. So, I mean, those are things that, like I said, those
Yeah.
are my essential three. Everyone's got different body types, different
Yeah.
goals. So I
I
understand completely if
I
that
agree for
won't be in
that.
yours.
Like health aspects to like for health aspects meaning like daily vitamins and minerals that you need. It's good for antioxidants. I'm sure like
Mhm.
you know what I
Yes.
mean, which is good for like especially like while you're aging as well. Like you definitely want antioxidants, you definitely want all that good stuff. But for on my side of the bodybuilding side, I feel as if greens they're really good for health benefits. But for bodybuilding, I feel like the reason, if like for my clients, if they're doing a show or anything like that, I add greens to help with hunger, and that's pretty much about it. To be honest, energy levels as well for sure, because like
Mhm.
when you're prepping for a show, it's definitely going to help with energy levels. But when I'm bulking, man, I bulked this whole year. The amount of greens I had was zero.
Yeah, because you don't want to cut down on any inflammation, so it's like
Yeah.
and I get it, you know what I'm saying? It depends on the goal at hand. But for me, and going for more of like an aesthetic look
Yeah.
and trying to be like more athletically built,
Boxing, yeah, for
yeah,
boxing too. I'm
it's
sure.
been a huge plus for me ever since I implemented it. And I'm telling you, for me, the biggest difference is like the increase in energy, especially not taking any caffeine. I really got to find like a source, that will help me get rid of those like sluggish mornings. So I
Mhm.
love taking those. And anybody
I don't,
that I recommend to it who's like obsessed with coffee, I always try to lean them towards like trying to try this out, so you're not
Mhm.
crushing 6 cups of coffee a day, 4 cups of coffee a
that's
day.
me. That's
I
me.
was I was I felt like Brando's calling me out right now.
Yeah, like fuck.
I
That's
was
me.
talking to my buddy Joe in the gym, and he literally was like, "How much caffeine do you?" I'm like, "I don't take any caffeine. Like even my pre-workout is non-stem." And he was like, "He's like, bro, I drink like 10 coffees a day." And
Yeah.
I was just like, "But I mean, he looks great, So the caffeine." I think it's still one of those things that as long as you're not like abusing it with like sugar and all the extra stuff you put in it, it's perfectly fine to be drinking. I don't know about no 10 cups of coffee,
No,
Joe,
no,
and then
Yeah.
6 cups, Robbie.
I
Yeah.
do I do too, but my shit's like it's not a cup. It looks like a cup, but it's like actually like two. So I do
Yeah.
four, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's also like 80 pounds heavier than me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I drink one coffee, it's weird too. I don't know if this is for anybody else out there. If you're looking at this, if you're a client, if you're somebody just watching the pod,
You shit your pants.
let me know. No,
Oh,
bro. Coffee. That was so funny how I zoomed in like that. But bro, coffee for me, I swear to you, it makes me tired. It makes me tired.
That's
I don't know why.
That's a gene expression. Some people have a gene expression of when they take in, especially synthetic caffeine, and actually it blocks the receptors. So all caffeine does is block your receptors. So basically, you don't feel fatigued. But for you, it might actually do the opposite.
Dude,
wow.
Caleb, I promise you, I'm
Yeah.
right hand. I'm telling you, I get more tired when I drink coffee. And people ask me when I tell them that, they're like, dude, no, you don't. I'm like, that's why I don't drink it, because I get
Yeah.
more tired. Or I
Yeah.
have
I
like
just
a
love the
terrible
taste.
crash.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love the taste, man. I love coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I forget, the only thing I wanted to add back on creatine is this is just another added benefit, not for muscle, but they actually have put out some literature that it does help with mental health. If you take it, it can help with depression. Like if you take it daily over time. Yeah.
I
I've
heard
actually
that too.
seen
Yeah.
that. I've actually seen that. So yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good way to bring
Just-
that back up.
Just another added benefit.
Yeah.
So creatine
especially
is just
nowadays.
amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
If you're watching
Take
this and you
it.
don't take creatine, fucking
Get
take
on
it.
it.
Yeah.
What's your guys? Is there a specific brand you guys take? One that you guys recommend, or is it? I know it's monohydrate versus HCl.
Monohydrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I always take
Nice.
monohydrate too.
Yeah.
So.
I just make sure that whoever you're looking to buy from doesn't have any lawsuits against them. And typically, if they can, which a lot more are getting more responsible about it, but have third-party testing just to make sure purity.
Okay.
But creatine monohydrate is so inexpensive for them to make that usually they don't add fillers and a bunch of stupid shit to it.
Yeah.
Usually.
I think I use Optimum and Concrete. Those are the two I use.
They're
Yeah,
pretty
those
solid.
are the best. Except there's one. What's the one? It's green. It's a green and black label, but it's so grainy that when you even put the scoops in, they don't dissolve. So like you have to
Yeah.
when you're drinking it, it's like you're eating. I don't.
Like
suggest
sand.
it.
Wait, it's a green and black. It's a green and black.
Green
bottle?
and black. Yeah.
Hold on
You
a
know which
second.
one?
He about to
That'll be funny.
Yeah.
If it's the one you use and you like it, I'm gonna puke.
I'm a big texture. I'm a big texture.
That is it.
Oh, it is Optimum.
That's the one.
Optimum. Don't
You like that?
Don't listen to Robbie, man. He's not blending his bottles right. This guy's
Oh,
he's too swole. He doesn't even blend it up. He just
I ate the bottle.
Yeah.
No, I don't experience that, but I also make a lot of I mean my pre-workout's not made in a smoothie maker, but I usually make like a little smoothie after, so it gets blended up pretty good. So
Yeah.
all right, go ahead though, guys. I think I went over my three essentials.
I'm curious to see Caleb's. I'm curious to hear Caleb's.
Yeah, so obviously I'm gonna do 4 just because creatine, like anyone who wants to put on muscle, male or female, I always suggest it. Don't worry about the water weight. It's not real unless you load, and loading's outdated. Just take 5 based on your body weight, take anywhere from 3 to 10 grams per day. Over time, you'll be fine. The next one's electrolytes. Big time here because a lot of people do not supplement with this. They also don't eat. They are afraid of salt for whatever fucking reason. So they cramp up, their muscular endurance decreases, their contractions don't happen as often or as frequent. And you can actually lose strength if you're imbalanced with your electrolytes. So pink Himalayan salt, potassium, if they're not getting that through food sources, which unfortunately a lot of people just fucking don't. I add those in to pre-workout as well. Other ones, a given, protein powder. When you think about putting on muscle, you definitely make sure you're shuttling your protein to the muscle via leucine uptake. And again, just a lot of people after the gym don't feel like going home and crushing food. So it's something very suitable, very flexible. And then another one, omega-3s, and more so than anything, just omega-3s. It's an anti-inflammatory, but people are like, well, you need inflammation to build muscle. Yeah, you do. But omega-3s are really good for brain health, so it can help with focus. But another added benefit is hormone optimization. You do get a lot of your testosterone skeletal rings from cholesterol. So when you're getting it from omega-3s, typically, if there's no underlying health issues, the conversion will be better than if you got your from omega-6 or 9 from like a fat burger or some shit like that. So most of us don't eat fish 2 times a week. So I supplement with omega-3s, and people that are trying to put on weight, keep their blood pressure in check, keep their triglycerides in check, keep those HDLs high and those LDLs low. That's going to help balance everything out too.
Yep.
That's a really good one. I actually had omega-3 and omega-6 under my bulking
Yeah.
supplements. So
Yeah.
that's
Omega's good.
Mhm.
Omega's
Good
really
stuff.
good. And to be honest with you, I agree. I agree with everybody and what you guys said, all the supplements, but
Other than the greens.
other than the greens, I mean, I still
That's
said
fine.
there. I still said there's good for something.
No, I'm just playing.
But when it comes to supplements for me, man, all I care about is food, like food. Every supplement we need, other than creatine, every supplement we need is all in food. Like you said, fish. Like if we're trying to get the omega-3s, we could get it from our fish sources. The only omega-3s I give to clients, I obviously always supplement like a fish oil or something like that. But
Yeah.
the only time I'm giving crazy amount of omega-3s is if my client isn't having fish sources.
Electrolytes,
Electrolytes, absolutely. I agree with electrolytes.
I love that.
The one big one, and this people could argue with me till the day I die about this one, and I think it's so important, is branch chain amino acids. And there's some people, like I've watched podcasts in the past, like talk shit on them and why we don't need them. They're a waste of money.
Are we talking essential or branched?
Branched.
Two. Okay.
Branched. I would love your guys' opinion to go off of this too, because this will be fun. The protein is made up of a chain, right? And we're supposedly missing some of the amino acids from foods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when people say that you get all the amino acids from your food, but in my opinion, I believe if we're missing some amino acids in our food, the more branch chain amino acids we can get to fill more and more protein, to create more protein synthesis, will help us heal muscle for growth, help us tear down the muscle while we're working out, right? So in my opinion, the more branch chain amino acids we have, the more protein synthesis we have.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me, or yeah, go ahead. I'm ready.
Can I play devil's advocate though?
No, I would love to, because this
Okay.
is, and then maybe you'll talk me out of it.
I want to first say before that I agree with Robbie. BCA powders is always something that I like to include. I think that it's very good for recovery, and with the amount of training that we do, with the amount of training that I have my clients doing, I like them taking that so they feel less fatigued, are able to get back in that gym and do what they need to do. But I think Robbie broke down the science pretty good, so I won't even touch base on that. So
no, I agree with the purpose of them. The only thing I was going to say is, obviously, when you want to build, you have to have an internal environment that's conducive with anabolism, the ability to build, right? So I understand what you mean. Like if you're lacking in any aminos, you'd want to like front load them basically and just cover your ass to make sure your body's primed to grow. Agreed. But couldn't that same argument be made for Brando's greens powder?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like, why not take it? If you can take it, why not take it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
So
mine
I think what you're saying too, Caleb.
Yeah, I'm just playing.
Mine is strictly off of protein synthesis. Obviously, we know protein synthesis is what helps us grow, whether it's muscle or even burn fat, right?
Yeah.
So if protein synthesis is completing that whole chain of amino acids, wouldn't we want as many like amino acids in there?
Yeah. So the essential ones are ones that your body doesn't convert from other metabolic processes. So typically people say you piss those out. That's not always the case, because people have deficiencies all the fucking time and they never know their whole life. So I agree. The only thing I will say about branch chains and why I typically don't recommend them is because almost anyone can make a fucking supplement now, and amino spiking's been around forever. So they just bullshit and lie to you. And if you're going to use branch chains, the only thing you need to definitely make sure is leucine is fucking present. If leucine's not there, you can have almost every other amino acid lined up, but your body's not going to stimulate muscle protein synthesis without leucine spikes. So as long as it's in there, I'm cool with it. But if it's not in there, you're wasting your fucking money.
The fucking money, and it's bullshit. And there's a lot of people out there that do bullshit. So what is it called? You always want to make sure all your supplements are third party
tested, if possible.
Third party tested. I was gonna say reviewed. But yeah, third party tested.
Same thing. Yeah.
Definitely. I agree with you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, even if you like buy shit off Amazon, there's good brands on there. A lot of supplements are starting to include their third party testing in the pictures if you look at it. Just always double check. There's something accredited on the website. Just make sure, like, cover your fucking do your due diligence.
Yep. 100%. And that's for any supplement. If you didn't say that, that's for any supplement. Like, so I wanted to transition real quick, if you guys don't mind. I think we all talked about some of our favorite ones.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to talk about, I said earlier, saw that the time is ticking. Okay. I wanted to talk real quick, and I was curious to see if this was going to be in anybody's essential, because I feel like some people need it because of their long work days. I think you guys know where I'm headed with this now, but pre-workout. A lot of people abuse.
I was gonna say vasodilators. I forgot that one. My bad.
A lot of people need it. They're not going into the gym without having that pre-workout scoop. And I used to do it because it was in, but then I didn't like how I started really focusing on how I felt after. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. Like, I'd rather just go with something non-caffeine and try to just get through my workout naturally. And it sucked at first because I was addicted to the pre-workout. But then afterwards, after a couple weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, my workouts are way better. I can last longer in here. I don't have like spikes of energy, like going crazy on the first couple of lifts, and then I'm dying down. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask, because I wanted to see if somebody put that in their top 5 or talked about it. But what's your guys' thoughts on pre-workout? Are they essential for you? Or how do you feel?
Nah.
They're an added bonus.
Yeah, added bonus. I'll do, and I won't do it often because I'll get my body will get used to it a little bit. So I'll do it randomly and be like, holy fuck, like best workout. But like other than that, beta alanine I'll always do, just like as a little tickle,
just to make you feel like it's kicking in. Yeah, I've done that.
God. Yeah, but other than that, pre-workout I don't fuck
with. Basically, me and Rob just want to feel like meth heads. That's all.
That's it. That's it. I want to feel like I want to run through a wall, and that's it.
Yeah, I think you guys know how I am kind of naturally. I just
you're like soon you're gonna be on the grass outside and pizza with your hands like this. I feel like,
shoot, man, you guys crack me up.
I think the only other one I was gonna say is some kind of vasodilator or glycerol. Those are the only other two.
Only other one I wanted to talk about, since you were on pre-workout, or like intra-workout or pre-workout drinks, was glutamine too. So after an intense workout, your levels drop. So I try to always try to include that intra-workout, which I found a lot of bodybuilders do.
I don't. Usually.
Or before or during my pre-workout concoction, slam that back and I'm good, So
carb intra workout is really important if we're
that's crazy. I was gonna ask you about that, Rob. I literally put down here, ask Rob, because it was hard for me to come up with like bulking supplements, because I like supplements can be used for the bulk or cut. There's only certain things I would not put in one, like a fat burner thermogenic. You're not putting that in a bulking diet. But the Carb HD was in my bulking supplements. I said I'm not too familiar on this product, but I know Rob is.
Carb HD and dextrose.
It's a fast carb source release, right? So it's like you take it before your workout, you get a little extra energy for your. Okay,
during.
That's what
I suggest during. You could do it really before or during or even after. Okay,
so my opinion, the same exact thing. You want to shuttle glucose back in to restore his glycogen, but the only reason I would only suggest it intra is because pre and post you can do that with food, and it's not going to be as expensive per serving. Just think low fiber, low fat content with your carbs pre and post, and you'll be solid. But intra workout, I agree. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
100%. Yep. Dextrose, really good. Yeah. Hey, what did you say, Caleb? You said 2 others before we went.
Vasodilator and glycerol.
Yeah, can you go over that one, the second one?
Yeah, so I don't remember the exact pathway, but basically what this supplement's supposed to do, it's supposed to help with intercellular hydration and then swelling. So basically, it's like a mechanism that can help with hypertrophy and pumps. So you just get more blood and nutrients to the muscle as you work it out.
Like kind of like an L-arginine. Or something like that. So vasodilator, that's what L-arginine. That's like okay.
Yeah. And then glycerol, I I don't know if it's technically a vasodilator. I think it has more to do with intercellular membrane retention. So basically just allowing more fluid to come into the cell for a period of time.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Or would you say, like for me, for example, I'll do salt in my pre-workout. Oh, I guess we don't really do pre-workout, but in my drink on my way to the gym.
Yeah, that's one of those electrolytes. So it's just going to help shuttle hydration to the muscle as we lose it when we're sweating and pushing ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man, that was a great pod today, boys.
It was quick too. I feel like it was really fast today.
Yeah,
like we went through it fast, but I mean, it's like it was 40 minutes, you know.
Yeah,
so,
there was we hit everything. I think we hit all the important ones. Real quick, vitamins like that we should take during the day. Real quick, first supplements: vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin ashwagandha.
ashwagandha.
That one, that one's a tough one. Some people think vitamin K. That's up in the air.
It just helps your absorption of D3. That's all it does. Well, it does other shit, but that's why people take it. Yeah.
Any other vitamins? Vitamin like fish oils. Any other vitamins you guys suggest?
CLAs. If we didn't go over those, I take one called Water X. Contains like potassium and magnesium. Kind of helps like stimulate the water if you're drinking a shit ton. But other than that, I think you touched on all of them. You said everything.
Ashwagandha, I was gonna say, especially post workout, just to get your body out of that sympathetic like nervous system overdrive, because it's very hard for your body to digest food and utilize it and mobilize it when you're like hyped up off of workout because you're stressing your body. So you want to shift it back to parasympathetic, which is where your body rests and digests at its best capacity. So you want to try to make that happen as fast as possible. So ashwagandha post workout, then eat your meal. It'll help a lot.
I read a lot of good things about. I'm not even gonna say it.
Ashwagandha. You got
that.
No, say it, Rob. Say it, Rob.
Ashwagandha.
You got
it. There you go. Come on, Rob.
Ask me about it.
Catch me outside.
Oh gosh.